Triangleface.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Bermuda Triangleface.
Hi.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And let's just get straight on with it, shall we?
Yeah.
First section of the show, as always, is what are you doing? So, Chris, what are you doing at the moment?
Today, well, not today, but I'm currently playing through a game on the Xbox One called Halo Spartan Assault.
Okay.
It's a twin stick shooter. So have you ever played one of them where you move with a
Oh yes,
left
yeah,
stick
yeah,
and then
no,
shoot
no,
with the
no.
right stick? The graphics are amazing, and it takes place on the USS Infinity. I can't remember the AI who helps you in Halo 4, but it's essentially the AI on the ship in Halo 4.
I know the one you mean. I know it looks like. I can't remember. His name,
it's like a yellow dude.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
He gives you like a training mission. Goes through history, so you go through Spartan Palmer's history. And there's there's about 25 to 30 missions in the game, and there's loads of objectives to do. There's after you complete the game and got gold star on all of them, like you get gold stars by getting certain medals which give you loads of points. Like a killing air would give you more points than a double kill.
Okay. Cool.
So once you get gold in all the missions, you can go back and go through what they've got as, it's called Assault Ops, I think it's called, and it's basically 3 bonus objectives for every single mission that you've got to try and complete in order to get.
Okay, so it gets you to replay through and go through this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm right thinking that's available on Xbox 360 as well.
I think it is.
There's another one they brought out.
Yeah,
they brought out for that because it was a Windows Phone game initially, wasn't it? Or something?
Yes, it was a Windows 8 game.
Yeah. Okay.
That you can only get on the Windows 8.
And then they launched it on Xbox One and 360.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So what would you give that game out of 10?
I'd give that game a. Can we do halves?
Yeah, you could do halves. Why not?
Sweet. I'll give that game an 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
Yes. It's a really good game. The graphics are fantastic, and it's just a good fun game you can play in half an hour. Stop if you like, and then carry on.
Cool. So a bit of a pick up and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Tim, what have you been doing today?
Well, not today. Where's today come from? I've just finished watching a TV series. I don't know if there was a second series, but I've just got to the end of season 1 of The River, which is another series you can get on Love Film at the moment. It's really good. It's the premise of it is there's a family who do nature documentaries,
right?
And the beginning is just all these clips from their nature shows and stuff. So they would go off to the Amazon and stuff and do this nature documentary. And basically the guy who was in it, the main sort of presenter on the show, has gone missing, and it's his son and his ex-wife then go off to find him because he's completely gone missing. He's missing, presumed dead. And then they find this beacon. They're we think he's still alive. He's still in the Amazon.
Right.
And there's a TV crew, and they say we will fund the expedition, but both of you have to go. And it's the son is now an adult, and he's finished university and stuff, and he's a researcher and things. And you get the impression that his relationship with his dad wasn't great, because all the footage at the beginning is when he's quite young, they all go off on these adventures and do this naked shooting.
Oh, so he went
shooting, yeah.
So he went missing when they're all doing that, and then they.
No. He that's where he was known. So it kind of shows them all together, and then it jumps forward 15 years or something, however long it is. So the kid's a lot older.
Okay.
And then it kind of says he's been missing for about 6 months. And I think during the gap that you don't see, obviously, he didn't have a great relationship with his son, and he evidently got separated from his wife, and he's gone off into the Amazon. So they go and they do they're filming a documentary about them looking for him, and this is basically meant to be the footage that was found. So it's a found footage type thing.
Right.
And the only thing I'll say about it is I think I prefer it more if they just showed you the story. It's the fact that it's all found footage stuff. There's a lot of footage because they have cameras everywhere. They find his boat, and his boat is basically a recording studio on a boat, and there's cameras everywhere, and there's actually a studio where they can edit all the footage and stuff. And there's a cameraman, and they have loads of mini cams, and all these different conversations happen. And it's basically each episode is mini horror films, because they go to this deep dark area of the Amazon, which is not on any map, and there's this river that's not supposed to exist, and there's all this different folklore about all these different types of spirits and demons that live in this part of the Amazon that like people aren't supposed to go there.
Okay.
And then they find like some tapes of what he was doing there, and it shows him like learning all this dark magic, and he like gets to like summon fire in his hands and stuff.
What?
And then they're like, there's this room that's been sealed shut, and they open up the room and they like release this spirit that he trapped in there. And there's all these basically loads of weird stuff happens, and like people get possessed and stuff
holy
like.
heck! It's going a completely different direction.
Yeah. So you think, oh yeah, they're going to go look for him in the Amazon because he's gone missing, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he's gone to this really sketchy place in the Amazon that he shouldn't have gone to, and they keep finding footage of him, which is from like after they thought he was dead, thinking, oh, he might still be alive, so they continue to try and find him, and like each bit they might get a bit closer to finding him. They're like, oh, he's moved on, sort of thing. But the only problem I do have with it is the found footage side of things. Is sometimes I don't really want to see it all through CCTV. You kind of just want to like watch it. So it's all right. It's relatively short series. I think it's only like 13 episodes. Might even be less actually. I think it's like 8 episodes. So it's fairly short, but the episodes are quite long.
Right.
But I think there's only so far you can stretch that premise before you kind of have to like either they find him or they go home. Like something has to happen, you know. But they start finding people from his crew and stuff, like his other cameraman and things like that. So they do introduce new characters in that way. Okay. So it's pretty good. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. Nice. So it's worth a watch if you're looking for something. It's a bit different than a lot of other stuff that's around at the moment. Yeah. But again, it looks like it's fairly low budget in places. But yeah, it's worth checking out.
Cool. Where can you?
That's on Love Film at the moment, so you can check it out on Love Film if you have that. Okay. And I'm sure you'll be able to find it in other places as well. But
sweet.
Yeah, so that's The River.
Awesome.
So the first question we've got for today, I think it was actually submitted by yourself, which was, what is your favourite Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon? I'll let you answer this first.
Oh, okay. I have to think about it. I'll be honest, I don't really like the new Pokemon. I kind of only really played Pokemon when I was a lot younger. I had it on the Game Boy, and it's around like the time the TV show first came out, like the first series. I've not really followed any of the later seasons or any of the later games, really. I think I played some of the newer games, and the Pokemon in it just looked like normal animals with like stupid names. I think I played one of it for about 4 to 5 minutes. It said, you've a rare cabbage has appeared, and it's called Cabbage, and it was a cabbage with a face. I was like, that's awful. And there's one which was like just looked like a gopher, and then like a weasel thing. It's like, but the older ones are so much cooler. Like, they had really cool ones.
Yeah.
I think based on like the Game Boy game, maybe I suppose is where I'd base this from. I think my favourite was like the Drowsy, and then Abra, and then it goes Abra. There's Abra, Kadabra, and then Alakazam.
Yes.
And then the other one, it was Drowsy and Hypno, wasn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, I would say, I don't know, maybe like either of those two like chains, because like Hypno used to be able to put people to sleep, and then do Dream Eater, and if they were asleep and you cast Dream Eater, they would like just get like not completely dead, but they'd have a really huge amount of life taken off. And then Alakazam was really cool because you could get like Psybeam and stuff. So I used to like the psychic ones. And you can get Abra quite early on, because you get Abra like near one of the second towns, I think. But he teleports away, so I think if you get a Pikachu, you paralyse him, and then you just chuck as soon as he turns up, you just throw a ball and hope that he gets caught.
Yeah.
And then you can get him quite early on. But you have to keep on, because he only has teleport, you have to use him and then swap him out with another one, so he'll level up. And I always used to like playing the long game with a Magikarp. Like, start with the Magikarp, swap them out for something else. Start with the Magikarp, swap them out for... And eventually you get a Gyarados. But it's a long haul. So, yeah, I'd probably say Hypno be my favourite.
Okay. So, like, a psychic Pokemon is your, like, type?
Yeah, I like the psychic ones. They're pretty good. And Ghost Pokemon are pretty good as well. Okay. Yeah, Psychic was probably my favourite sort of types. How about yourself?
So based on... If we're doing, like, the first 150 Pokemon...
you can go beyond. I just stayed to the first 150 because that for me, that is Pokemon. Everything else after that was kind of like, maybe I got a bit older and it's kind of, I wasn't the target audience and stuff. But when I was at the age that it was acceptable to like Pokemon, there's 150 of them. So that's kind of the ones I knew.
I'll probably go with my favourite is Squirtle.
All right, okay.
Yeah, non-evolved, like
just a basic.
Yeah,
Squirtle.
Just basic Squirtle. He was just. He owned so much. He was amazing. His Bubble Beam was fantastic. And in the TV show, I think there was a whole episode where I think he got lost or something, or he got his own squad and he had like triangle sunglasses on.
That's when they first found him. Like there was a Squirtle squad. I think that's when the leader, one of the Squirtle Squad, decides to go with Ash at the end. So they did initially have like a little gang.
Yeah, he had it like his own little turtle gang. Just like, and I could like picture them going around all of the towns, just like holding up convenience stores, going like, yeah.
You could go into so much about the world of Pokemon and stuff. I think we talked quite a lot about Pokemon in our Final Fantasy playthrough. Because like when you go into houses and stuff, it's like, oh, I really like Pokemon. Like, everyone just loves Pokemon. The Pokemon are everywhere, and it's kind of like, does anybody work or do anything other than being Pokemon trainers? Like, no, because the Pokemon just do all the labour. So it's like, I'm going to build a house. I'll get my match up. I choose you. You'll build my house while we match up. It's just kind of like when they get to school, it might just be like, oh, welcome to school. We're just going to learn how to get Pokemon to do stuff for you. The most fun thing is to get them to fight each other. So we'll do that, shall we?
Yeah, what do they learn in school?
They just learn Pokemon. Learn about Pokemon, yeah.
Oh man,
crazy! There's like, the whole world is just Pokemon all the time. And the thing as well, if there's Pokemon, I don't think are there normal animals other than Pokemon, like cats and dogs and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a dog.
So I'm thinking as well, they're like there's episodes where they have like hot dogs and cheeseburgers and stuff. So where's the meat coming from? Is it like what's the bull called? There is like a bull. Taurus.
Yeah, it's similar. Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the three
like when they have,
tails.
instead of chicken, do they have like Spearows and Pidgeys? I suppose Pidgeys maybe like a pigeon. Maybe they have like a Farfetch'd. It's like duck, isn't it?
Yeah, duck.
Yeah, so do they eat Farfetch'd? I don't know. These things. Who knows?
Yeah, they eat Psyduck.
They might eat Psyduck.
Pulled Psyduck.
Pulled Psyduck. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure lots of the Pokemon might be edible for different things. I see one thing I always thought was a bit stupid was the Digimon. Was always like which came quite soon after Pokemon, didn't it? I don't know if maybe they came out around the same sort of time. And it's just the lazy naming conventions. And
Mom. After everything.
Yeah, something in Mon. It's like Dog Mom, Digivolve 2, Big Dog Mom. Oh my god. So that was like, I think the TV show, if you actually give it time and watch it, it's not that bad. But I just did really give it a chance because the naming conventions are terrible. And I just didn't like they have like the lazy animators. Where it's like, in this episode, right, they'll have a transformation of like the small one to the big one, then maybe to the larger one, so small, medium, large transformations. But then they would revert back at the end, and then it's like, right, we've got some time to kill in this episode, or just have a big monster there, and then all of them will transform, and that'll be like half the episode. So first one, Digivolves to the bigger version, and then it's like, I'm going to Digivolve to my bigger version, and then by the time all 8 of them had done that, it's like, oh, well, now it's time for the break. It's like, well, nothing's happened yet. They just transform.
It came out the same time as Dragon Ball Z. That was all they did.
Oh, in Dragon Ball Z, it's just a case of like, oh my god, this guy's really powerful. I'm really scared about how powerful this guy is. He's getting more powerful.
Meanwhile, like it just cuts to him and he's like,
stop. It's like, why don't interrupt him? This right at the very end, after all of the seasons, after they fight Frieza, and then they fight Cell, and then they fight Majin Buu, and then it goes on to GT and they fight Baby, and then it's when they fight Shenron, and they're going to do the fusion thing, and they're about to do fusion, he just kicks on them, so I'm not they're going to do that. If you fuse, you're going to be more powerful, and I'm not going to beat you. But right now, I can beat both of you easily. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, fusion, no! Don't do that, I'm not going to let you do it.
It's like, what they all did.
It's like, can't he just stand there watching us in awe while we transform? It's like, no. So he's the only person sensible enough to do that. Anyway, so the next question we've got is from Hannah, and it's asking, what would you do if you had £1 million?
Set up a research lab so I can make Pokemon. No, I would probably... this is probably going to sound really lame, but I'm going to do the logical thing and put half of it into savings, and then have the other half just to spend, because I've got £1 million for free, so I might as well at least spend half of it.
I think you would have to spend some of it just on holidays and things like that, and just go off and do stuff. I think that I'll probably pay off my mortgage, and then maybe pay off mortgage for a few families. The thing is that you would do that if you actually had £1 million. You'd pay off the mortgage, and maybe pay off the mortgage for a few close family members. Maybe buy a new car, and maybe buy your parents' car and things like that. But I mean, £1 million. I don't know how far realistically in real life how far that would go before all of a sudden £1 million would be gone. So you kind of doing a few immediate things like that. And like you said, then you would put a lot of it into savings, but you wouldn't just put it into savings. You'd probably get a financial advisor and invest it and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd probably get shares and think money in property, and then I'd probably spend money on investments that I'd get money back on. So
you'd still get money.
Yeah, so maybe I suppose the kind of thing you do if you're that kind of maybe invest in some startup companies or something. and I just give money to get equity in companies, but like they do on Dragon's Den. I mean, I don't really know anything about that world, so I suppose like if I had £1 million, you would probably just like contact your bank and say, I have £1 million. I don't really know what to do with that. What would you recommend I do? And then maybe you probably just go to like some sort of advisor who's like, okay, this is the best place to put your money, and then you probably like give a certain amount to charity, certain amount to friends and family, a certain amount just to spend on stuff, and then essentially I suppose I just want enough to live off of. So if you have, you could probably be in a situation where you can just live off the interest, and then you wouldn't have to work.
Yeah. So say if you put it all into. So you're getting interest from the whole £1 million.
Yeah, you probably the amount of interest you got in a month, you could probably just live off of that, and then you would never use it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't really have that much of a decadent lifestyle. I'd be happy with like just living within my means. I wouldn't like then suddenly spend stupid amounts of money
on things like, Mum, I got some gold teeth.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything that I wouldn't want to have like now. It'd just be like I could just have it without having to wait to save up for things. Do you know what I mean? It's like I would be happy living in like the same sort of area that I live in now. I'd be happy with like a normal sized house. I wouldn't have to have a mansion. I wouldn't have to have a ridiculously expensive car, and like I wouldn't. That's one thing I think is weird as well. I wouldn't spend loads of money on clothes. It's kind of like I would just still spend like the same amount of money on clothes. Just because I have £1 million doesn't mean I'm going to spend like £250 a pair of jeans. I will go to George and buy some jeans for a tenner. Thank you very much. They're jeans. So I think because of like that, I don't think I would burn through it too much. I'd probably just want to be in a situation where I didn't have to work, and then I would just make YouTube videos and do that, make games and comics, and I could just do things that I wanted to do because I wanted to do them, not because I had to earn money.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's I probably You kind of expanded on what I was.
Yeah. So
thanks, Tim.
There you go. That's what I do.
Awesome.
Okay, let's kind of make it a bit more interesting then. Other than the sensible things you would do,
you had £1 million and you had to spend it.
Let's see. Yeah, if you had £1 million and you had to spend it all, like at once, or like in the space of a week or something, and you had to get rid of all of it.
Okay, I would like pay for everyone to take, like everyone I knew to take a day off work, get like 3 or 4 coaches, and we'd all go to like Alton Towers for like 2 days.
That's not going to cost $1 million, is it?
No, but that's like that's one thing I would probably do.
Think bigger, Chris. So, think bigger.
Bigger. I would find other people with £1 million and buy an island.
Oh, okay, you could buy an island. Do you reckon you could buy an island for $1 million?
I didn't think so.
I don't know if you could buy an island for $1 million.
No, for $1 million.
For $1 million. Here, have my minions. You might be able to buy. I don't know. I was going to say you might be able to buy a hotel for $1 million, but you probably wouldn't.
No.
I don't know. Maybe we should just Google what you can buy for £1 million.
Buy a hotel room for like 3 years, like all expensive.
Oh yeah, buy it up front.
Yeah.
Here's $1 million. I want to stay here as long as I can. So you spend it in a day.
As long as I can.
All inclusive, food and drink. So I want to live here for a year. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So you could do that.
I'll probably do that as well.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think we're about done for time. So thanks for joining us again.
Hi. Thanks.
And we'll see you next time.
Oh, by the way, there's a hidden secret in this video. And comment if you think you know what it is.
I don't even know about that. Why do I not know about secrets in my own videos? Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.